the Brown here with a couple more movie updates. And a few days ago I just picked up on VCD Peng Ho Chung's Love in a Puff. There's the back to it. And the sequel to that, Love in the Buff. The first one was made in 2010 and the second one was made in 2012. Haven't got around to watching the second one yet. I've just got done watching this one just a bit ago. I'll get around to that eventually. But it's a Chinese film. It's a romance film. I'm starting to get into Peng Ho Chung's films. I've seen the trailer to this film and the sequel for a while, and I've finally decided to go ahead and get him and watch them. Had to ship these from Hong Kong because you can't get these in America, as you can see. Has the, I think that's Mandarin actually, I don't think that's Cantonese. But you have to have an all region-free DVD player to play these because they don't play on normal DVDs. I'll just open this up here. They open up by the bottom on the VCDs. Normally they just have a little opening and they just slide out. This one actually has a top and a bottom seal. But there's 2 discs on the VCDs because there's really not that much space. They're really cheap. The VCDs are. I think you can get them for like $5 or most of them are $5, but some of them run $7. Just depends if it's like a newer film or not. But I was starting to build up my VCD collection. But as I was saying, this was a romantic film. It's kind of like a romantic comedy. And let's see if I can. I don't think I know the actors' names. The guy, he was Jimmy, or plays as Jimmy, and the woman plays as Sherry. I like the purple hair she has. You can see that. But it's called Love in a Puff because I guess starting from 2007 in Hong Kong, or I think all of China, smoking is banned in like restaurants and public areas and like working areas, and there's specific places they have to go to smoke. And Jimmy goes there and smokes with some friends in a certain area with his co-workers or friends from work. And Sherry, she goes there one day and they're talking about him. He just, his girlfriend just cheated on him, so he just broke up with her, and then he shows up as they're talking about him, and they kind of meet there. That's why it's called Love in a Puff. They meet, the whole film is based around their relationship between them two, and both of them having to do with smoking. But she's in a relationship that's kind of not really going well, and it's kind of like almost a love at first sight thing between her and him. And it goes, I think, to like through 7 days, and they see each other, and just goes on, and they just builds up to them. Eventually, you know, they end up living with each other. She moves out from her boyfriend, who he finds out through her phone that he was messaging her, or Jimmy was messaging Sherry, and that kind of ends their relationship, which was kind of doomed anyways, and they get together. Very nice feeling romantic film. There's a lot of tributes to other films in this. I noticed kind of like the cloud, like the angles of like, you'll be at the bottom of the skyscraper and it goes up in the sky. It shows like the clouds, kind of like Wong Kar-wai. And then you've got one from American Beauty where they're both smoking and they're watching the bag that's floating around. And there's another one from Goodfellas actually where Jimmy and his buddies are in this bar drinking, and this one guy, or they say something about this one guy, and it's kind of like the scene from Goodfellas where the one guy, the newer, like the bartender guy, kind of stands up to Tommy. So this one newer drinking guy, they're like making fun of him because they're like asking him if he's there to play games or eat, and he stands up and just tells this one guy off because they're making fun of him. And the one guy's like, "Hey, good for you," and gives him money. It's kind of like the scene from Goodfellas. I haven't really noticed any other films. I'm sure there probably are. But he definitely loves his American films, as I can see from this, and it's almost kind of like Wong Kar-wai light, because Wong Kar-wai's films are romance films. And I like that Peng Ho Chung is very different from the main Hong Kong films. There's very high censorship there, and he really, with like the language and the stuff they talk about, It just kind of breaks the censors. There's another film I have of his, Dream Home, that he did that's really, he had to have shot outside of China, or it's probably never shown in like Hong Kong, or shot in China, just not outside of Hong Kong due to the censorship, because like I was saying, so there's so many things they can't show. You can't, there's like, I think it's like you can't show like nudity, or like graphic deaths, or language, or anything against, like, kind of like anti-Chinese. Other than their censorship, I mean, I really love the Chinese films. It's just hard for them to really be able to just do a film that they want to do, like, artistically. Wong Kar-wai, he probably, I know he has to go outside of China, and certain other directors have, but a lot of, you'll see a lot more mature kind of talking in this, a lot of foul mouth talking, kind of joking around that you won't normally see in the Hong Kong films. That's kind of strikes out as like different from a lot of the other films. But and also through this film, it kind of shows like the economy wise, it's kind of like in America how prices are going up, like inflation, like in the film, like there's a certain time where the cigarette prices jump up. So that night, Jimmy and Sherry drive together around town, going from shop to shop, buying all these cigarettes before they go up. And they end up just at like the very end of the film, they decide to quit smoking together and they smoke their last cigarette together. But it's just a really nice feeling romantic comedy. And I'm going to get around to watching the other one here soon. But that is Peng Ho Chung's Love in a Puff on VCD. And thank you for watching.